Okay, what's up, everybody? I am back. I'm really excited to get back on here and have a conversation. Last night, I was thinking about just letting some thoughts kind of filter through before I went to bed, and I was writing down some more things. And I ran across, before I got too tired, I was on TikTok. I'm sure a lot of people are talking about this documentary. Last night was the first time I heard about this. What I'm getting ready to say might be the obvious, but I watched a video of the mother of the spiritual, um, I guess you could say, internet leader at the time. She had a nice following. Yesterday, this laptop might just send me over the edge if it does that one more time. It was my first time hearing about this. I'm new. I was not on that side of the internet, so forgive me for not knowing the great details about this whole story. But it's a horrific story. It's tragic, and I'm not going to go into detail about it. But just for the just for the sake of the conversation, this is where it took me. Realizing that all of us, at the end of the day, we are alive. We are going through traumatic situations. We are going through things that are shaping our character, our personalities. Each day, you have no idea what's going to come your way that's going to alter your brain chemistry, let alone just the things that ruminate in your mind. I don't know how to make my screen stop timing out. So, if you're new to the spiritual journey, if you're new to this whole understanding of things, and now being able to kind of assess what you're going through from a spiritual perspective, that when people are talking about shadow work, when they want to talk about your lower chakras, what other ways? When they want to talk about the dark side, Baphomet, chaos energy, necromancy, all of these things in a literal way are just talking about getting in tune with your suppressed thoughts, your traumas, working through them so now you can integrate both sides of your personality, of your mind. This is the work that we're talking about. It's nothing more mystical, it's nothing more magical. It is quite literally half of the spiritual leaders and all of the things, the gurus, the Baba Balaus, the shamans, you are a therapist. You are a psychologist. You are a studier and a researcher of the mind. That is it, and that is all. So when you're going to people and you're trying to get a reading, you're trying to hold so much value in the next person to tell you your next path, your next movement, you're just setting yourself up, because it's just like meeting someone and saying, I'm no longer am going to think for myself. It's all on you. And if people haven't done the work with themselves, which is the hardest work, that's the thing about it all. That's why people lose their mind. This is why people are out on the streets, walking around in circles, talking to whoever. It's because I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna start again. Because what I wrote down really was simply about let me put this up here. Let me can this thing pause? Let's see. We just gonna keep it running. Cause I don't know. It looks kind of, why does the camera look so milky? I'm trying to record it a different way, y'all. But I'm gonna let it. Why does the camera look so milky? What is up with that? All right, so let me try to wipe it. That made it look worse. Okay. Hopefully y'all still there. Because I'm gonna upload the video just like this. But I want to talk about how many years I used to sit and I used to watch Brother Panic's videos, right? And from the beginning, I knew that it was like information that I obviously was gravitating to, because in my opinion, of course, he was the best person to address your shadow and teach about dark side energy. But all we're doing is talking about your mind, your traumas, the things that you are not comfortable addressing. Did you have some abuse as a child and you never wanted to talk about it, but your day to day, your relationships are starting to be affected because of this thing that you've been suppressing for so long. Okay? So talking about your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your lower elements. Again, we're only ever talking about the secret side of you, the hidden side of you. That's it. So when I was watching that video quickly on TikTok and I saw the mom reiterate how her daughter was going through her own spiritual journey, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't know all the details. Hopefully it doesn't offend anyone. But how I took it was, the mom is explaining, my daughter went through her own spiritual journey, but she didn't integrate her shadow side. So it overpowered her. It dominated her personality, and it led to her demise and others. I've seen this exact scenario time and time again. People suppress and have so many vices and ways to escape because of this. We see it. This is what this world really is. It is a school. This is how I'm interpreting things. People are coming down here from At this point, we can assume and we can say whatever. You're coming from wherever, you know. You're coming here. The challenge is to discover self, to do nothing but to discover self, and then to ascend once you have moved up through the murks, through the hell, whatever, all of these things. It's like, okay, my mind is trying to figure out how to simplify it, but the challenge is to climb and ascend to your greater self, your higher self. But again, it's not so mystical. It's really just, can you learn yourself? Can you learn to be a better person? Can you learn and integrate both sides of your personality, your strengths and your weaknesses? It's just like you go on a damn job interview and they're asking you, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Okay, so you know your weaknesses, but can any of those weaknesses help you navigate this job even better? Did you learn something from your weaknesses? Are you now an even more wise person because of it? You know, it's the same. So when I seen that video, and I was like, wow, what another crazy story of a person who was overtaken, overcome, quite literally defeated by their own self. We all know family members, friends that may have expressed something happening to them that was so traumatic, horrific, and maybe not even so whatever it was, it changed them. Okay? It changed their way they view themselves, their self-concept, their confidence level in themselves. Or even something triggered, there was a cause and then there was a reaction. Just simple as that, okay? We all know someone, and we've watched, if it wasn't ourselves, someone become an alcoholic because they wouldn't address what's actually going on. And when I sit back and I think, and I'm also a hairstylist, so I'm constantly listening to stories. I'm constantly being in a place where people are open to vent about their life. Okay? Constantly being able to vent. And I think to myself, it really is a tough road to tackle your own bullshit. It really is. But if you do not, when people talk about karma, that's what I believe really does happen. If you're unable to work through your issues, these family curses, which is just repeat patterns again and again. I was sitting down with family yesterday. A family reunion is getting ready to happen, and as you get closer to everyone coming together, you're getting all these stories, and I'm listening, and I'm like, so this person's mom did this, her mom did this, she's doing the same exact thing. This is what people would call a family curse, because the cycle is just repeating, and it's just trauma. It's shaping the behavior of that family, of that person, and it's not letting up. So you wonder why they get into relationships of abuse, of recreating these scenarios again and again. And we have so much information now on the internet, and it can help with your healing. It really can. But just think somebody else got to make it clear that the spiritual work is your own. You can have someone helping you all day long, but they are not you. You have to sit with yourself. It does whatever, however it works for you. You have to go on the journey, do the work by yourself. So if you don't have a father and you're wondering, why did he do these things? Am I good enough? You're trying to place your value in other things and get validation from other people. At some point, you're going to have to sit with yourself, because it's going to keep on manifesting over and over again. Have a kid, the same scenario is going to happen to them. So that's what also pulled me in. Now, of course, I didn't know this perspective as a kid. I just knew, okay, when I'm going to church, it doesn't feel like the healing is getting done. And of course, I'm not saying it like that as a kid, but it's just a feeling. I'm like, there's some things that we really have to work through. And this place is like creating another gossip center. Or paying attention to family and realizing, there's just some dishonesty going on here. Ain't nobody gonna talk about the obvious. So we just gonna let so and so keep on coming over here and he around here abusing everybody? And this person's affected, and this person's affected, and this person's affected. We're not going to share tips and secrets about how we can be better people. So me as a kid, just being overly observant really helped me step into the place that I am now, where I never had a desire to go down a path of like, oh, I'm a witch and I'm going to put a spell on you, and you. It was always about collecting the information and how can we heal? How can we fix it? Very solution based. So even now, or I'm feeling more of a pull to like, okay, let's record these videos. Let's put them out. Whoever pays attention to them pays attention. But I realized years ago, we all know that people are being manipulated. They're continuously being manipulated. But until you start doing your own work, you might not notice that you're being manipulated. You searching for answers on the internet, you searching for someone to be a spiritual leader to you, that's all good, but with balance. Because there still are people out here that haven't done their own inner work. And you can tell when you decide to start moving with more discernment. You can tell who gets into this work for the money, who gets into this work for a name, fame, and their and it's like your ego is useful, but you can tell it's too many damn documentaries. It's too many damn documentaries of motherfuckers being like, I'm now the new cult leader. I'm now my password. I'm now the new leader of this group of people. There's always a new wave of people coming in and learning. Man, but you're not supposed to put your whole mind and allow yourself to get swept up and brainwashed. Stay your ass at the little churches if you wanted that. And I can't even say that, because there are people who find themselves and heal themselves through whatever religion, and it was fine. It was what they needed. It was the level that they were at. And you find genuine people that are able to help you through your traumas. But somebody posed the question on the internet, like, all these things coming out about spiritual leaders and cult groups and all of the things is now going to start tainting the experience for people to not really have that much faith in spirituality either. Like, people are kind of turning to spiritual the spiritual path to escape religion, but not realizing that you gonna bring over your same type of mindset and behavior to spirituality. And I like to think that when we use that term, spirit is breath. Spirit is life. So you're doing breath work. You're doing deep breath work. You're getting to the bottom of who you are. Okay? So through whatever path, it's everyone's journey to take on. But I just feel not really obligated, but just like, I guess I just want to say as well, be mindful. Use your discernment. Don't put all of your life into someone else's thinking that they're going to heal you. They're not. They don't know what really happened to you. And you can only explain so well. If something happened to you as a child, they can only listen. They can't go through that same thing with you. Even if you think you're connecting with the person and, okay, I went through that, I can give you this advice. It only goes so far, because you are you. So you're going to have to sit with yourself and remember, okay, how did this make me feel? When this happened as a kid, did it change the way I believe in myself? Did it change? What emotion did it evoke for you? Start asking yourself those type of questions and feel all of the feels. Sometimes you're just going to have to cry. Sometimes you're just going to have to sleep. It's not easy work. I understand why people choose to just fucking do drugs. I get it, because if you really suffered through something, to address it and to bring it back up, that's pain again, and nobody wants to keep on hurting themselves. But through the pain, now you are able to decide, do I allow this to overtake me, or do I change the perspective, and do I rework what happened to me and see it as a lesson that I can help others? I can feel free now. But it's just an interesting scenario to watch so many people go through things, and watch how it changes them and turns them into this version that they don't even like of themselves. I'm this version of me because of the things that I went through, but I like this version. That's the difference. If you keep on looking to yourself and asking, is there anything else that I can change that I don't really like? I'm watching behavior go on in my family, and I'm like, there's people moving with spite. There's people moving with anger, deep-seated anger. And so you can't even have a decent conversation because you're so angry all the time. And if somebody told me about myself, like, hey, Nia, you're rude. You're not pleasant to be around because your attitude. And that's something to that it was a real situation for me. When I was younger, I used to have a shitty ass, spicy ass attitude, smart ass mouth. That version of me is still there. But I'm in control now, and I know myself, and I know my triggers, so I don't like that version. So that version is not suppressed in a negative way where it's waiting and screaming and the pits of my stomach hurt because I really want to unleash my crazy smart ass mouth. No, you just put it in a different outlet. You express it differently now. But you're choosing to do and become a better version because you want to. Like, it feels better. And it's not like you're trying to become this holier than thou human. You're literally picking and choosing what parts of you you're going to enhance or lessen. We're going to turn that one down. I don't really like being rude. Why am I rude? What happened to me that makes me want to just be combative and be defensive? Ask yourself those questions. So then once you do and you're like, damn, I remember being a child and not feeling like I had a voice. So that kid or that teenager is still in there angry, like no one's listening to me. So you're ready to snap all the time. You know, you have to ask yourself, why does it keep timing it out faster and faster and faster now? Is it doing it every minute? You know, you have to ask yourself these questions so you can get to the side of you that is healed. And when people say healed, the scar is still there. It's still there. It's just no longer exposed and wild and bleeding and gushing out. It's quite literally healed and sealed. The memory of it is there. The evidence of it is still there, but it's no longer just fucking chaos. So, you know, if you can take that, we could be living in a better world, right? It would be so much easier. But unfortunately, like that woman said about her daughter, until you integrate your shadow, you get honest about what happened to you, you get honest about your not so great side, your evil side, your dark side, that shit's gonna run you to the ground. If I had to get honest with myself again, saying I could get a little controlling, I can get a little fearful, I can push people away because of the fear of things not going my way. But now that you know that, when things are coming your way, opportunities, new people, you could literally sit and decide, okay, if I make this decision, is it stemming from the pain and the fear, or do I feel a little bit more lighthearted? Do I feel a little bit more free because the fear isn't overtaking me? Our emotions are running rampant. So even another great point, I remember in the spiritual community, everybody's going on about the archons, and there's these greater beings that are feeding off of our energy, drinking it like juice. Y'all, what is true is that we are an emotional creatures. We are emotional beings. Okay? That is the truth. Our emotions are dictating our every move. Signs and symbols are pushing us all around. The United States is the great capitalistic society, and we are being moved around be, by our emotions, our cravings, our anger, our happiness, our pleasure, our all of the things are moving us. It is true. But again, it's our responsibility to take control. So I guess telling people that there's some greater fears of this intergalactic giant whatever the fuck that's trying to farm us and drink us based off of our emotions, could I guess help people get their shit together because they're fucking scared again. But sounds dumb. And I understand only so many people can take real honesty. But y'all gotta reel it in. Reel it in. Understand that people are creating cults based off of this information, just the way that people are scared. Come join me over here. I'll help you, and defend yourself from the archons. You might as well just stay with the rhetoric that Jesus is watching you and he's gonna strike your ass down to hell if you don't do A, B, and C. I choose not to live a life where there's this ruminating fear of the place that I'm in is essentially a trap. Is essentially a trap, a small box where I'm just being ran around in a circle and I'm being watched by something, and then just one magical day that thing is gonna grab my ass and squish me. Like that's what all this whole thing is thinking that there's some overseer of a parent role, parental role, and one day you're gonna get your ass whooped. No. How about no? How about no? How about actually where you live is a beautiful place? It's a peaceful place if you choose it to be that. And once you take responsibility in yourself and your own emotions, then it becomes even more beautiful. Yes, things are happening. Yes, you are in the environment of damn near the wild. And that might be even more scarier, is that you are just in the wild. And your reality is based off of your own decisions. If you choose to be a happy person, if you choose to live your life and have inner joy and be kind and show empathy, then it gets to be reflected back to you. And if you're still going through challenges where you haven't addressed why you do certain things or why you honestly enjoy a cycle of pain, then unfortunately you might keep on finding yourself in scenarios where you're being shown that this is what you think about yourself. This is what you feel about yourself. And I think that concept is still hard for people to grasp because you didn't choose what happened to you. If you were abused as a child, you didn't choose that, right? You didn't want that to happen. So for someone to say it's your responsibility to heal past that, that is a lot. That is a lot. But it is part of adulthood. It's a part of being emotionally responsible. It's a part of growing the fuck up and creating what kind of life you want to live. So I don't know. I just hope that people are able to take responsibility for what's going on in their mind. If you need help, get the help. If you need somebody to just listen and vent, there are plenty of people and plenty of free resources to just share what happened to you. Just tell your story. And once you do, if you can find sense of this and realize that where you are now, it's no longer happening. What happened to you as a kid, it's not happening over and over again. So that was an experience that happened, but you don't have to live and hold on to something. Hold on to such pain and allow that pain to dictate how you treat others, how you treat yourself, more importantly. You can decide to be happier. You can decide to be in a state of bliss. Happiness, you're going to have to work for that every single day. But you can decide to just be a better version of yourself. You don't have to drink yourself every single day. You can have some sober days. You can do it. You really can do it. It takes a lot. And you're going to have to recall the memories of whatever happened. But again, that's why there are people that are actively helping others. Okay? Okay. So, I guess that's really it. I saw that story and I was like, God damn. So sad. So sad. But you know what? Each year, each month, each day, there is another story about a spiritual leader starting some type of massive group of movement, and all these people are following them and taking their every word and hanging on to it, and not realizing that that person is still a human. And not all the time their intentions match the reality. You can have great intentions, it's true. Your intent could be great. But if you haven't done the work yourself, it kind of starts to show up. And then, people are being manipulated so easily and controlled. And people want to control other people. They just want to take possession of others. And I'm like, damn, I just want people to free themselves so they can stop asking me questions. Free yourself so you can stop asking other motherfuckers questions. You see what I'm saying? Imagine you feeling so confident in yourself that you don't have to ask nobody no questions. You might need a little insight, a little of advice, but why are you sitting in these people's house? Why are you sitting at these people's places waiting for them to give you some more insight about your journey? I'm gonna get my hair done, okay? So just be yourself, be free yourself of all your pain, of all your guilt. If you were just a small little baby and someone had to explain to that small baby that what you went through was horrible. But it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. You're not that little girl. You're not that little boy anymore. And you can do it by yourself. You have help and you have support. Even when you don't think you have the support, you have it. There's always someone there. Even when you didn't think so, some random thing happened Okay? Miracles happen every single day. You just got to know what you're looking at. You have help, you have support, you are loved. Love yourself tremendously so you can have the confidence in yourself to know that whatever spiritual inkling you have is a real one. You have instincts. We are human beings. We quite literally are motherfucking mammals, okay? So all of this spiritual pull, you think your ancestors are talking to you, think spirit guides are talking to you and all that. At the end of the day, it's instincts. And as you mature and get wiser and wiser, your instincts are revving up, revving up. So if you just want to ground things in logic so people aren't suffering in spiritual psychosis, thinking that everything is talking to them, we are still mammals. If we weren't talking and walking with goddamn computers, we would still be outside in the wild having to pay attention to the patterns of nature. Okay? So let's get back to reality and remember that that's where a lot of these things are coming from. When I gave birth to my daughter, I realized in that moment we are animals. We have instincts. And they kick in and they turn on at different points in your life because you're going through different things and you have chemical reactions. But we like to do dumb shit and make it like the trees are talking. Yeah, everything is in communication with everything, but we are also a part of this whole natural system. So we're picking up communication through our instincts, through things that are just inherently part of us. And then there's some who are overwhelmed with information because that's what type of person they are, but we just don't have what kind of species. Like, that's like a bird talking to a snake and being like, the leaves. You're picking up patterns from leaves and trees because you're a fucking bird. A snake is going to be like, well, the ground is talking to me. The soil is talking to me. I'm looking at flies and frogs because they're talking to me like I should eat it. But if you are totally out of alignment with yourself, your natural instincts are like foreign mystical things to you now. Now you're like, my whole world's coming undone. But that's because you've been walking around not being true to yourself. So now, once it automatically switches and you go back to factory reset of who you are and what you are, like something so amazing like childbirth, it can be overwhelming. And that's why sometimes women go through postpartum psychosis, postpartum depression, postpartum whatever, because what you just went through was so impactful and it damn near put you back. Could you imagine being a lion, a tiger, a bear, you never having a baby, never giving birth? They're mammals. We do the same thing. Them living their life in a zoo, they give birth naturally at that. And after that, you get flooded with these hormones. You get flooded with these thoughts. You get flooded with a heightened sense of reality. But it was always natural to you. This has been going on for eons because of your species type. To survive in the environment, this is what we've been blessed with. But if you grew up in a zoo and you never knew that you had to be aware of your surroundings to prevent danger, and there's predators lurking because you lived in an isolated box, that birth, that taking care of that small animal is going to trigger your instincts to be heightened. Now you're being paranoid, damn near schizophrenic because you're getting too much information bombarded to you. You see what women are going through? See how crazy that could seem? Where now you want to go outside to the grocery stores with your baby, but you're too aware of things. You're picking up, oh, that was a predator. Oh, that man touches kids. Oh, that man does this and that. And you're just trying to take your ass to the grocery store. But it's your instincts trying to protect you. And you're picking up on real information and real true things, because what people do, no matter, it's on them. And just from us being a part of this environment, we're picking up on it. Just like that animal would. She needs to know a fucking tiger's coming. A fucking bear is running over here. So give yourself some grace. Women, men, pay attention that women are really going through an extreme change once they have children, once they are interacting with males and it was their first time and now they're forever changed. Okay? You're being taken advantage of and now you can't navigate and be in public spaces. Men who've been traumatized and abused, their senses are being heightened, hyper aware to prevent them from danger again. So it's a lot. But I just want to free people from the spiritual psychosis. Find some grounding in what you're going through. And I hope this video, I hope anybody, you're able to watch this through, get what my message really is. But your instincts are kicking in. Your instincts are kicking in. I'm going to say it again. Your instincts are kicking in. When you go through a traumatic experience, it almost wakes you up to the reality of where you've been this entire time. The wild. So we like to think we live in a beautiful artificial zoo. And for some people they do, where they're naive. They're naive to what is going on in their environment, and it takes something traumatic to wake their ass up. But it is your responsibility to use that information and become better, so then you can create your own world, your own environment, your own habitat. Okay? Just go and use your tools and create your own goddamn habitat. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful.